What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you another one. And this one is Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 8, Point and Shoot. A lot jumped off in this episode. And I'm so happy that it's back, but I'm so sad that soon it will be over and will be done. But let's not get into that. Let's go through exactly what happened in this episode, because a whole lot of things did, and I just got to get to it right now. What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As always, 500 is the like gold. So if this video does hit 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video a $25 Amazon gift card. So let's get right into it. Let me just say that the leaks that were out were 100% accurate. Everything they said that happened in the leak did happen in this episode. I will break down the episode first, give you a recap. Then I will tell you exactly what it means going forward and what I think is going to happen in the upcoming episodes. So let's get to it. The episode opens up with a scene in the beach. And as we see the water in the beach coming in, we see a shoe inside of it floating around in the water. The camera then pans up the beach and shows another shoe in the beach, a match for the other one. As it pans out, we start to hear music. When we hear the music, we do arrive at a car. The car has its doors open and the music is playing, and then they show us inside the car, and on the dashboard is a wallet with a wedding ring sitting on top of the wallet. From that, we go to exactly where we left off from the last episode. We see the candle with the blood spatter on it, and we're back in Kim's apartment. We see the blood dripping from Howard, just gruesome, and we see the shell casing. Kim and Jim are scared to death. They're just on the couch cowering, and Lalo's like, listen, we're just going to talk. And he comes up with a plan for them. He basically tells them, listen, you're going to take this gun. You're going to get in my car. There's a camera in there also. You're going to go to this address and you're going to shoot this person. After you shoot this person, I want you to take a picture of this person so that I know that you did the task. If you do not do this, I'm going to kill your wife. And this is where we get the switch. We see Jim say, listen, don't send me, send Kim. And Kim is completely devastated. She's emotional. She's like, I do not want to go. But he insists that he sends her. And we figure out that he's not doing this to be dirty. He's doing this to get her away from Lalo. Kim is pleading like, I do not want to do this. Do not do this. Saying specifically, don't do this, Jimmy. But he is just like, no. If I go there, the guy's not going to open the door. Look at her. If people look at her, then you know they're going to open the door. And he's playing on Lalo's thinking that Kim is hot. He's mentioned this many a times. Hey, you went up in life by getting her. So Jim knows this. So he's playing on Kim's look at this time. So he says then, like, I don't know, she's kind of clever. She may call the cops. She may do something. And he's like, no, she's not. You could trust her. You know she's not going to do it. And eventually Lalo allows Kim to do the job. After Kim leaves, he takes Jimmy, he ties him up, and then Jimmy falls right in the face of Howard, looking directly on him. And I think at this time, when you see him there and he's looking at Howard, he's realizing like what these consequences really have to face when he's just there laying down there and sees Howard's body. Great shot. We then see Kim taking off to do the job in the car, scared to death, looking at the instructions where she has to go. She eventually does pull up right next to some police officers, and for a second she thinks about saying something to the police officers. She rolls down the window, but when the cops look over at her, she just looks away from them and just continues on with her mission. Kim then winds up at the house, and I'm saying she's fully committed to doing the job. Like, she goes there to assassinate this dude, straight up, to take him out. She goes in there, she goes up to the door, scared to death. She has the gun out there. She's about to blast dude if he comes to the door, but Mike comes and grabs her and pushes her away. After Mike bags her up, he asks her what she's doing, why she's here, and she spills the beam and says Lalo has Jim and you're supposed to be protecting us, and what are you doing and why aren't you there? And then they grab her up and they throw her back in the chair, and she's like, what's going on here? You're supposed to be protecting us. Eventually she says who she was sent there to kill, which was Gus, but she doesn't know it's Gus. Mike goes over, he talks to Gus, and while he was doing that, Gus was listening into the whole conversation. Mike grabs up all of his men and he says he's going over there to Kim's apartment to take care of Lalo. Mike tells Gus to stay put, but Gus, he wants details. We seen this go down with Lalo and Jimmy, right? He wanted exact details, and that's exactly what Gus wants from Kim at this time. When he gets these details, he realizes that Jim is the one who talked Lalo out of sending him and sending Kim instead. And that puts up a light bulb in his head at this particular time, and he tells his people to come with him. Mike then arrives all the way back at Kim's place, and after he gets there, he tells his people, scope the place out. We don't want to disturb the neighbors, but he plans on going taking Lalo out, thinking Lalo was still there. But then Gus goes and he heads back to the laundromat, knowing that something is up, doesn't know exactly what's up, but has some suspicion that something's going on at the laundromat. While he's at the laundromat walking around, all of a sudden he hears shots ring out, bang, 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 and all of his men are taken out one at a time, just like that. And out of the shadows, who do we see walk out of him? None other than your boy Lalo, who now has the drop on Gus. Mike reaches Jimmy and he tells him straight up, listen, I'm going to take this gag off you, but don't scream. I need to know the exact answers to these questions. Where did Lalo go and how long ago did he go there? And Jim tells him, I have no idea where he went, but he left right after Kim left. And this lets Mike know that Lalo had a scheme and that he's coming to get Gus. Lalo then pulls out his handy camcorder and starts making some video for the Don, and he forces Gus to go downstairs and show him exactly what's going on down there. He wants him to show him the lab. Gus tries to front at first, but then Lalo shoots him right in his vest. He knows he has a vest on. He shoots him right in his vest, which takes Gus's breath away, but he knows it's not going to kill him. That's why he shot him there. He also knows that Mike is on his way and he does not have a lot of time to get this done. So he's like, listen, you're gonna have to show me exactly what we came to see. Gus realized that he has no choice at this particular time, so he opens up the lair and shows him the mother of all labs down there. And this is what Lalo wanted. This is what he was going for from the beginning, because he knew that this is what Gus was trying to do. Gus was trying to overthrow his family and become a boss of his own. And then he forces Gus into it and goes downstairs. And as soon as they do, you see that they turn on the lights, specifically after he brings him right down to the first level. And that is key, that they show you him turn the lights on. After he's down there, Gus basically tells him straight up, you don't want to kill me right now, because first I have to tell the Don what I feel about him. And Gus goes into this whole rant about the Don and basically tells him I'm going to wipe you all off. And they show you a good close-up of the gun that Gus had stashed away. After that, Gus kicks the cable, dropping all the lights. You see shots go out, and you see the one shot go out from Gus. And then all of a sudden, when the lights turn back on, when they're able to take a look, you see Lalo is shot up and laid out. Laid out, Lalo is, which is a shocking to see Lalo like this, laid out. He lets out one last little laugh and smile and then dies. Gus grabs his vest. He sees that the bullet was in his vest, but he does get caught under the vest with one shot, and then he sits down right then. Before I get into the rest, I just want to say that scene right there was just magnificent. One of the greatest scenes I'm going to say that I've seen in television, straight up. It was just magnificent. Lalo going out like that, just the way he went out. Gus being, as great as he was in that scene. Just a magnificent scene. With that threat finally handled and Lalo finally out of the way, Gus goes back to business as always and tells one of his employees, listen, I'm not going to be able to make it in. I'm going to need you to open and close, and I'm going to take care of you when it's all said and done. Mike is like, yo, you took an unnecessary risk. It could have went a different way. And Gus is like, yeah, it could have, but basically it didn't. Kim makes it out of that ordeal, makes it back to Jim. He's happy to see her. She's infatuated with seeing him at this particular time. But I do think that there's something going on here. We're going to talk about that in a second. Mike tells him straight up, this is what you got to do. This is what it is. We're going to make this look like a suicide, all right? We're going to clean up your apartment, and we're going to say that this dude was here. He ranted for a little while. He took off in his car. He goes to an ocean. He's like, the speedometer is going to be the exact number of miles to say that he made it there, and that's going to be it. I thought that they would do a suicide, but I did not think that they would do it not in the apartment. So partially right, partially wrong, but just seeing him laid out like this it's truly sad just to see him like this, because I didn't like him as a character, but he didn't deserve this. When Mike is telling them exactly what's going on, I think you can get a hint right here at the end when you see Jim look at Kim, like Kim will not even look at him. She does not even want to look at him. He looks over at her when he's telling her the deal, but she refuses to look at Jim at this particular time. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing is the end of this relationship right here. At the end, we then see Jim take Lalo and take Harold's body and dump them in the grave together. I mean, they don't deserve to be in the grave together. You could see that he didn't even want to do it. But that is where it is. Now, that is basically how it ends. I'm going to touch on a couple of points right now. Jim tells Saul that Lalo's not coming back. I would think that from what we've seen, he doesn't know that Lalo is dead. But the way Jim said it, he has to know that he means he's not coming back. He's gone, that he's dead. So I'm going to have to suss that out, exactly why that is. Put it in the comment section if you know the exact reason why that is. I also want to say that this is the end of Jim and Kim 100%. She is not going to be able to deal with this at all. I'm telling you that. She's not going to be able to deal with the murder of Harold. It's just not going to be something that she can handle. She was in this lifestyle, but she was not in it this deep. This is way too much for her to deal with. Trust me when I tell you this, this is the way it ends for them. And that's what we're going to see in these last couple of episodes. 100% now, I 100% believe that Carol Burnett is going to be playing his mother. This is going to be how it ends, because no one's really truly going to believe that he took his own life. A lot of people will, but his mother's not. And I guarantee you that's how it's going to go down. But you tell me in the comment section what you think. And also know I do a pregame show right before the episode airs. It's 7 o'clock. make sure you're subscribed so you can get in on the pre-game show. You like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.